The views and opinions during this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the sponsors or executive producers. This program contains conversation, discussion, debate, which a truly free society would neither fear nor suppress. However, in some socially inept areas, certain religious fanatics and ultra-sensitive and extreme political affiliates violate your First Amendment rights by attempting to control what you watch, listen to, write, and speak. We feel that this is unconstitutional and un-American. And now we present the MKULTRASOUND podcast. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MKULTRASOUnd.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man.
Hail, hail, the gang's all here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat because our executive producer, Two Dark Mark's here.
All right.
Woo!
Hey,
Looking good, too.
Well, thank you very much.
Right,
got-
Cassie?
This is a special show we're doing on a Friday night. Cassie's with us. She's got some things that we're going to talk about later. We've all got some really cool things to talk about. But first, okay, you've told the story on your radio shows. I've told the story, but let's just, again, let everybody know how we met.
Yeah, so I had moved from Monroe, Louisiana to wonderful, windy Chicago, and so came up here, and a buddy of mine had told me about a Skinny Puppy remix project, and then managed to find out that you were doing some sort of release party for it. I didn't know who you were.
It was Network Records had released two Skinny Puppy, the B-sides and the singles. And I was doing a release party for that in 1990. It was like October of 1998, after I moved here. And I was DJing at this place called Spin at Belmont and Halstead, which is a big gay bar.
It was fun, though. Everybody went there.
Yeah, but I did Gothic Industrial Night on Thursdays.
And that's why,
it was a bigger mixed crowd, like of our people.
Sure.
And go ahead.
Yeah, so I was like, what the hell? So I had put together a remix because I heard about the remix contest going on, and so I remixed TFWO, Totally Fucking Weirded Out. And then, of course, I dropped a couple of my own tracks on there, and so I was just like, okay, who is this Alexander person, and where is he? And somebody pointed to the crow's nest at the end of the dance floor, so I timidly made my way across the bar and then across the dance floor, then asked somebody, where is this and how do you get there? They pointed to a ladder, and so here's me fresh out of Monroe, Louisiana, crawling up this ladder to this crow's nest, and there's Alex and all his leather-clad splendor.
At a gay bar. Did you know it was a gay bar when you came there?
I had no idea it was a gay bar, no.
I got on there because
it wasn't...
I was selling an ad for MK Ultra, and then they found out I used to DJ at this lesbian bar in Columbus, Ohio, and they heard of me.
Right.
And said, do you want a Thursday night gig?
Sure.
And here work with this other DJ, one of you open the night, one do later. I drew a crowd in, even though some people were blacklisting me locally here because they were looking at me as competition. But I don't know how to do anything but work. And then, it was all entertainment. Right. In 98, the music industry was still very, very lucrative. And there was a lot of work there. There was a lot of places to work. And, magazines went well. And it was a different time. And so I ended up being the DJ until Blondie was getting back together. And I had their Tower Record release party with the band there signing. And they wanted me to change the night of the Blondie release party. I'm like, I don't tell Blondie when to come to town. Then that's when Liars Club hired me. And I did it there at Liars Club. And that's when I started at Liars, which was in 99. Yeah. And then I did the Blondie thing there. It was cool.
Yeah, but we DJ'd a hell of a lot of nights.
We did. And you did Alcoholiday there. And Danny Flesher from Wax Tracks, the founder of Wax Tracks, co-founder of Wax Tracks was there.
I met him.
We had Martyr Colony from Columbus, Ohio play. What was the girl, Mistress Ann from Emerald Fear from DC, and that Chainsaw Johnny.
Oh Lord, yeah.
And then a lot of people came from all over. I didn't tell anybody it was a gay bar.
Right.
And so they show up, and then
What's
they
the
figured out
point?
when they went to the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool though because I used to do a different remix for every night that we did the
Yes.
did
Nice.
the DJ night there, and
You were
so I would
really a
do-
DJ then.
Yeah, we would. I would go and during the week put together, pick a popular song, but then mesh it together. And
Yes.
like one of them I did was a mix of Ministry Every Day's Halloween mixed with Revco's Cracking Up,
Nice.
and then we
Two
did
great songs,
yeah,
yes.
and so we did a
So
funky
you were
remix
mashing
on
up
that.
before it was really.
Yeah,
even
it was
mashups.
1998, and everybody's like dancing away, like, "What the fuck is this?" But
Yeah.
it was cool.
I
It
like
was fun. You I spent that Thanksgiving with you,
Yeah.
and my friend Annette came to visit, and my girlfriend Heather went home, and it was Thanksgiving weekend that we found this chicken.
Oh yeah.
What?
Okay, this is crazy. So there's this. I lived in Wicker Park on Hermitage, and we're on the back. I think you were smoking a cigarette or something. We're out back on the back porch, and there's this chicken in the alley, and so we're like, we brought that fucking chicken up, and had it for the weekend, and I put it in this. I had a bath and a half, so I put it in the bathroom, in the one without the bath, without the shower. And in there in the cat box, and I didn't put an egg in there to try to get it to sit on the egg. And then that thing hung out with us for the whole weekend. We go to parties, and this guy Oz
Man, worst smelling feet.
Yeah, this guy's
ever
feet were
experienced.
rank.
Oh,
I remember
no.
it was great on Thanksgiving Eve. Yes, Thanksgiving Eve. No, Thanksgiving. Heather's parents came together, and a mom walks in. He's passed out on the floor. We've got this black dude passed out on my futon, and then Oz is passed out on the floor, and the mom walks in and is thinking, this is just how we live.
Yeah.
She's got her daughter to fuck out of there. And I remember Mark begging Oz to put his shoes on, and then we were taking that chicken to parties. And we'd go to somebody's house party, and then sit it on the sofa, and people were like, what the fuck? And then he was giving it amyl nitrate.
Oh,
Give
no.
the chicken.
Not me.
Not you, no,
yeah.
Oz.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then we went to your house
what?
Thanksgiving, and
What did that crazy? What
Rush.
happened? What did it
Rush.
do when it
I
did a
don't know.
popper?
well,
A chicken do
so
a popper?
what happened? What we did with that thing? Careful! Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Somebody bumped something. It's out.
Well, you're recording to the podcaster though.
Yeah, but we need this to be
Oh,
live.
okay.
So, sorry about that. A couple of days later, we're like, it's Sunday, and like we've got to do something with this chicken. So I'm like, well, fuck, we'll just throw it off the back porch. It'll fly.
No.
Not knowing the chickens don't fly. So it falls down, and
Him thinking the chicken would fly.
yeah,
Guys, wings.
yeah. So yeah, chicken wings, right? And so they throw it down, and these two little Mexican kids go chasing it down the alley. It was probably dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that I want to know is y'all had Reed Heim on the other week,
Yeah.
and he tells a story about Ministry
Yeah.
needing a chicken in the studio at Track Studio, and I'm wondering where on the timeline is this in regards to us having the
Your
party
chicken.
chicken?
I'll
and
tell you,
then
I never
y'all
saw a
having it?
chicken, not
Do
once.
the chicken line
So
up.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
might be either before or after, but not when I was there.
Yeah, it's not chicken or the egg.
98.
No,
Yeah.
What
no-
year?
no
Yeah,
animal
what the hell were you
rituals,
guys
nothing
doing
like
back
that.
then?
Exactly.
Everything.
So here's what's really fucked up though. And then it got cold,
Yeah.
and it snowed, and then he just disappears. And I'm like, where the
Chicken
fuck
or
is Mark?
I took the chicken and left.
No, the Mexican kids had the chicken.
No, so I was living here, and I was fresh out of grad school and trying to find a job and get work or something, and I found some temp stuff here and there, but it was
Sears.
it's Sears, and it was pretty lame. So
right.
my brother wasn't super thrilled about me living in his house and running up the AOL bill while I'm looking for jobs because
Sure.
Oh, that's right,
everywhere
back
on
then.
dial-up
Back
in
then,
Chicago
yes.
was long
That's
distance.
Right.
And so he just one day says, okay, I'm going to Mexico for 2 weeks, and I haven't paid any of the bills, and there's a blizzard coming, and the electricity is going to get cut off unless you get a job and find a way to pay for it.
And you have a few days.
Yeah, so I've got a few days here, and there's a blizzard coming. So I was like, all right,
Panic mode.
I've got a half a tank of gas a full pack of cigarettes. I'm fucking leaving Chicago.
He did.
So
Right
I
on.
got packed up my shit and I drove straight until I hit Jackson, Mississippi.
Wow.
It took me 2 hours to get outside the city
Yeah.
through the blizzard, and once I got to Jackson, I picked up a 6-pack of Dixie beer, kissed the
Nice.
ground, drank it, and drank the beer and went to bed and slept till the
You
next
only
day.
had did you have any money?
No, no, I had to.
You
that
have
was
some
it.
cojones.
Yeah.
I
well,
like
it's
that.
like I get the fuck out of here. So
Yeah,
that was it.
But it changed your life for the better, really.
Yeah. Everything fell into place. Got there and landed a gig,
kick-ass.
running a big studio,
Yes,
and
you
then
did.
a couple years later, got back in touch with Alex and.
I went to
Nice.
my first trip to New Orleans and I looked him up, and then he took me around. Wow. It was went down for
bet.
a Voodoo
I've never
Music
been.
Fest. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He knows good food and he knows good places to drink. And oh my God, we went so many places. And then I had to go to Voodoo Music Fest.
Sure.
And then I ran into Trent Reznor and then ended up, Sean from White Zombie had a bar down there.
That's
I went to her bar, go in there, and there's Trent Reznor sitting again.
Great.
So I saw him twice in a day.
Nice.
And it was, so did you see these?
The voodoo dolls, those are cute.
This is
like
me and Mark. And it's
neat.
based on a picture of us in Baton Rouge at the House of Blues Baton Rouge, which isn't affiliated with the House of Blues, but that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're driving down the road after he'd been hanging out, and we're on our way to the airport, and he's just like, "Yo, stop!" And so I'm like,
We had a photographer with
"What
us.
the hell's going on?" And so he'd seen it, so he stopped and took the picture, and that's what the MK Ultrasound podcast picture is from. Is
We,
he saw it.
Neat.
We were in the company of a photographer that weekend, and so luckily she had a camera with her, and
Right.
we got that
Killer
killer
shots,
picture.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking great picture. But
But these are the same voodoo dolls by Quarter Kids in New Orleans that we're going to be giving away when we do our fall giveaway for the
Right.
pig face tickets
Right.
and the Killer Beards kit, and then we're going to give away
The
some
voodoo
voodoo
dolls.
dolls.
I got to bring this up real quick.
You have to make one of me and Cassie too.
Do you know whose birthday it is?
It is
80th, his 80th birthday. David Allen Coe.
Ah.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Wow. You know Nick Huffman's all over that.
The mysterious rhinestone cowboy.
Nick Huffman worked for him.
Yeah.
As Mark probably
You
knows.
got to meet one. Mark's going to be up here a lot now.
Yeah, he's got to meet him.
So we've got to do a Looney Bin trip with Mark.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
down.
only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I could try it.
I like it down there.
Yeah.
I know you
quick.
do.
Yeah. I don't
going
need to
down that way next
necessarily
week.
stay over, but I could.
What are you doing there?
I'm gonna go see Emily. She's gonna alter my dress.
Oh, that's right. She
For
makes some.
my friend's
I
wedding.
love
Sifrit.
Emily. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Seifert.
Seifert.
Yeah.
She makes some incredible work, man.
Yeah.
I saw her stuff she was showing in
She's
New York
so
City.
nice too.
Hey,
Yeah, she is.
Um,
Nick
speaking
said the
of
nicest
that
stuff about
area-
her too.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful. That Samantha girl never did my hair last week like she was
I
supposed to,
know.
and she didn't come to the barbecue.
Why don't you have Colleen Moore, Twisted Scissors girls do it?
Maybe
Do that.
Yeah,
We can need them. We could interview them.
Okay,
too.
there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right. They
That's
have a killer shop over there, and the girls are fantastic looking and do all sorts of cool shit. And I do my hair as well.
Awesome. That's
yeah,
a good idea.
we could promote them, and
I need
they
to
could
do
do
my
our
They're
hair.
Wicker
Cassie
Park, right?
too.
All those girls look cool there.
Oh, they're great. I know Colleen too. She plays in Hyman Moments. It's a Misfits cover band, but they're all girls. They're all
I love
girls,
that shit. Okay,
and that is awesome.
I wonder if I was like wondering if I've seen them because I remember that band Slaughter, all girl tribute to Kiss.
Yeah,
That's
Slaughter.
awesome.
You know who we got coming on Sunday?
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Woo!
A hottie. It was funny.
Speaking
Ty
of
reminded
local
me that
girls
she was
in
coming
the scene.
on the show Sunday, and I'm at work, and I just had been looking at her pictures. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with Too Dark Mark.
You're listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast. Please feel free to contact us at podcast@mkultramagazine.com.
So it's been a hell of a week. A shit stir. Believe it or not, Hollywood and the media hate Dave Chappelle now.
Woo! In the hot seat a little bit.
I mean,
'cause-
seriously, he had in Yahoo News, the beacon of fake news, put on there how he had 0% rating
What?
on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, guess what?
I would doubt that.
That was by critics. He's 99% with
With
I heard he
audience.
did
Yes.
really good on
Yeah,
Which
they
is what
didn't. They
matters.
failed to say that part, or what?
There's this one headline I liked. What happened to Dave Chappelle? The cruelty of sticks and stones is a sign of the times. Dave Chappelle is completely attuned to the mean spirit of 2019. That's what's throwing off his old fans. I thought it was relevant and fucking hilarious. And
Yeah.
nobody was.
Wait, his old fans.
So
don't like
he's
it?
on PC, and so the young ones don't like it, but we still are supposed to like it, or
No, is that what you're
30,
saying? His
40-year-olds?
old fans don't like it?
This is just
So you
one.
threw
This
them
is
off?
what one
What?
critic is saying. I mean, it's just.
Who's the critic?
It's all of them. All of the. There are so many negative reviews about this. It's just insane. But that isn't what matters. It's the fans that matter.
What was the one that I think was the lead off was what, Wall Street Journal?
His
The one of the Wall Street Journal one was just like kind of over the top. I don't know.
what are they saying
Let me check
altogether?
and
Are
see
they
what
saying
I'm
not
gonna look
funny?
and see what. Oh, they're saying it's just. It's
Offensive.
because it's offensive.
I see.
It's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
And
comedy's supposed to be
and he was
offensive.
dropping-
That's what's funny about it.
He was dropping the N-bomb, and he went the hard R.
At least
Or
some
ER, not an
comedy.
A.
Yeah,
It was
A lot of it was the LGBT
that's even funnier.
community.
Oh,
funnier.
Yeah,
Called
it-
them the alphabet people because
Yeah, yeah.
LGBT.
that was fucking funny. And you know what?
Q.
But it wasn't against them. He was put it into context.
Right.
And I read one where the LGBT
It made sense.
Q people aren't offended by it.
Right.
But they said, well, it kind of makes you like, because he called them their favorite, just use your favorite vowel.
Yeah.
And they're just picking it apart. The Wall Street
I
Journal
can't wait to see
said,
it.
we
Love
need to
Dave
shock-
Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle is stuck in the 80s is what they said.
Yeah,
Ah,
and
get
that's-
at it. Good.
From the first thing when it started up, the thing that came right back to me right away was Eddie Murphy's Raw from the 80s.
Yeah.
Because
You
and that
couldn't
was
do that?
the same thing where everybody's like
Yeah.
all freaked out. I remember I was very young then, and so it was like,
Yes.
ooh, stay up late at night,
That's
sneak and
right.
watch it on HBO or something.
Okay, Dave
Right.
Chappelle is stuck in the 80s. He made a career of pushing the envelope, but his material, including the N-word, is no longer edgy. It's edgier than ever.
Yeah.
It's
He
so
sings-
un-PC.
yeah.
Oh, he came on with Anthony Bourdain,
Yeah.
and then he hit on Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, and that's what we're going to talk about next is R. Kelly. I don't know if you heard this one yet. I gotta read
what
this. I gotta read
fabulous
this. Okay.
comedy is happening in the world of
Well, first-
Rob Kelly.
Okay, two things. Number one is he's in general population now.
That's hilarious.
In Cook County?
That's awesome, man. He's broke as a joke.
Well, it says
It's
he's broke,
got- I
but
mean-
he wants to change his legal team. He wants to bring in one of the most powerful criminal defense lawyers in the country, Tom Mesereau,
Yeah.
who got Michael Jackson
Michael
off.
Jackson off.
Okay, how can you afford that guy if you're broke?
That's a double
If he's
entendre.
broke.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it gets better. It was recently reported that when he was transferred from solitary confinement to the general population, where he is more comfortable and still considers himself a legend among the Chicago inmates. He is granted way more privileges than he had before, including more non-attorney visits, which means his live-in girlfriends, Jocelyn and Azriel, can pay him a visit, but won't be the type of visit the singer was hoping for. Considering he's being charged for sex crimes, it will make sense that he's denied conjugal visits.
I can't even get.
Hey, he can have plenty of sex in Cook County.
Yeah, but the question is he the pitcher or the catcher?
I heard the catcher, by the by. You know, there's a thing on the internet.
Oh, really?
I swear to
Is
you,
there?
I watch a lot of that stuff, and there is a gal that says that he enjoyed having a certain sexual instrument, you know, that most ladies use, you know,
A dildo.
inserted, into, you know, his man pussy.
That's a new one. His
the-
manto.
No, the old prison purse. Yeah.
That's right.
Manto.
But that's where the man's G spot is, you know. So, hey, I'm not gonna knock
so,
that,
and then
but
Jussie Smollett.
it is interesting.
Jussie
But it's out there.
Smollett legal team says it's ridiculous and a stretch to make him pay Chicago $130,000 to cover up the cost to police investigation. And they said he's saying it's not my fault you spent so much. You shouldn't have went in all that trouble. And
Right.
Okay, he was a victim, a gay black victim of a hate crime.
Right.
Of course
They're
they're going
gonna
to do
take
a
a hate crime extremely serious.
yes.
Yeah.
But now he's saying he should, so his whole thing's backfired on him.
Right.
And this is what's going to suck.
So he's saying you shouldn't care about hate crimes and try to figure them out.
That's kind of what he's saying.
Is that what he's saying? Yeah.
I mean, it's what he's saying now, but I mean, his thing backfired, and this fucking guy, has ruined it for people in the future
Right.
who
Go through
report
this
a hate
for real.
crime.
Right.
But I love how Chappelle talked. He's like,
Oh, he did
it's
something on
1
it?
in the morning, 16 below, because we know how much black people love the cold. And you were going where? Subway to get a sandwich?
Did he say that? That's
Yeah.
great.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the only one of the people who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I did
the
not.
famous French actor.
Juicy Smollett. That's like his famous French actor.
Oh man.
Yeah, Chappelle was just,
Awesome.
I was in tears.
Oh, I bet.
I mean,
He always kills it. I'm glad.
yeah, I'm happy too. And Sticks and Stones.
That's
he's
right.
Not gonna break his fucking bones.
Nah, he'll just go
And
back.
you know what? He's in good shape too.
Yeah.
You see what he looks like now?
It's probably the same, right?
He's actually worked out a lot.
A
'Cause
little
he
bit
hasn't been
better?
on stage in 12 years. Or
Nice.
done a special in 12 years.
All
Still got
the
a good
good and
20
negative
years.
things is just gonna get more people to watch it.
Absolutely.
That's
Any
what turned me on to some
any
bands.
publicity is
Yeah.
quote unquote good.
With the
good
PMRC, I wouldn't know
publicity.
about the Mentors if it wasn't for them. You know, the lyrics to Golden Showers.
Well,
What
when
kind
you
of
get a
parallel
second,
is that?
yeah, you've got to watch the epilogue where he
Yes.
comes back 5 weeks after he did the show, and he shows the ending of the shows following it after it aired, and so he invites the audience to just ask them any kind of questions they want to ask, and he goes into a long story about this transvestite that sits through 5 shows in a row and then waits for him at the end of the show, and he's just kind of like, what's going to happen now, and invites him to sit down and has a drink and just
Was it good?
absolutely
Was it cool?
loves it. Yeah.
You brought up something, and then I'm like, Ty, but go ahead, Cassie.
I was about to say, typically the people that I see most offended by stuff is white men.
Just white male bashing now. So what are you, like a liberal now? Man,
What do you mean?
No, it's
Go
just
ahead.
whenever I see like
no, it's liberal.
Go ahead, let her
like
talk.
someone being like super offended if it's a white guy going into, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I'm like,
But to
Okay,
be
white
fair,
men.
Cassie, they're beta males, though. They're not alpha males like us. They're beta males. They're very feminine. And speaking of alpha males, Mark sent me something interesting this week. He spends a lot of time in Texas. And kind of jealous because I've never been to Austin, and I really want to go. New Texas laws, and this was just this past week.
Yep.
Okay, House Bill 2789, illegal for someone to send nude photos you never asked for. So that means dick pics.
Are
good.
now
Texas.
illegal. So
Even titty pics?
Unsolicited.
Unsolicited, good. It should. I'm tired of getting that shit.
House Bill 37,
no
porch
fun.
pirates, stealing packages off of
Unsolicited.
porches to be a felony.
That's true.
That happens a lot here.
yeah.
That's good too.
State Bill 1232, alcohol delivery. Restaurants, bars, or businesses with mixed beverage permit to deliver alcohol with food to homes or other off-premises locations. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they
allowing
opened
that
that in Louisiana also. Yeah.
Okay, here's a good
None
one.
of this stuff sounds bad.
House Bill 446, brass knuckles are legal to carry now.
Nice.
That sounds great.
Can knock somebody out.
But
Get
you
sued.
can conceal carry there, and you could open carry in Texas.
Oh, open
Yeah,
carry?
but most stores though, and I've noticed that this is going around a lot in the U.S. today, like with Walgreens and CVS and stuff like that now, where they don't want you to open carry in the stores. Walmart actually just banned this when they did their ammo ban, but you can still concealed carry, so they just don't want people walking around with it visible because it scares other
Frightens.
people. Yeah.
You have guns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've shot with them in the dark, drunk.
Well, that's
Not the
smart.
smartest
Yeah.
thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
audience.
I think we scared
Yeah.
the
Think
lady.
Damn.
about that.
And the
He's
final
a good role model.
State Bill 21, tobacco sales must be 21 years old to buy cigarettes. That's what it is here. Cassie, what you get dick pics?
Yeah,
Your
oh
face.
guys, guys just send that stuff. They just don't
Yeah,
care.
they
They'll
do.
just send it. It's like, oh wait, hold on, what's that little thing?
Oh!
That's my reaction. Or
Do you
if
type it back to them that?
Are
either
they-
that or if their mother is like tagged as their like, you know, family on Facebook, I'm like, hey, is this your son? I know you maybe can't tell from this photo, but
Good
Oh!
Yeah.
so
Wow,
It's-
mom gets to see him whacking the tobacco, huh?
don't fuck with me.
Ty,
Wow.
I'll send that shit everywhere.
I'm happy. Good for you. I wish more women were like
People,
you.
gosh, I don't get like,
Are they hard or are they
what is
flaccid?
that gonna do? What does that
Hard
do?
usually.
Are they hard usually?
Yeah,
or
I'll get
flaccid?
video that where it's just, you know,
rocking.
It's
They're
like I don't
pulling
want
it.
to. I don't want to
Yeah,
talk to you to begin
ridiculous.
with, and then you send me something like that. It's like,
Sometimes it's
why? Unsolicited.
Ty, you've got some news.
yeah.
Go for it.
What vaping news? A lot of people are getting really sick, having a lot of respiratory problems, and they're finding out that all the people that are having these problems are vaping. So they're saying that it's not really the marijuana or the nicotine; it is the acetone, the vitamin E, and when they heat it up, it turns to grease, and then when it cools down in your lungs, it will just coat your lungs. So a lot of people are coming down with things, and they haven't studied this vaping for any length of time. None of it's being regulated. None of it is,
Did you buy cigars?
being
yet?
scientifically
Not too long
reported
ago.
or anything. They don't even know who to report it to. They
Nah.
they can't report things to. There's just no system set up for it. So watch out how much you vape. And
I don't smoke anything but cigars now and then.
Yeah, I actually stopped like vaping anything for. Not that I really vape that much, but
right. Me
I
too.
like
That's
was
between
I was like
minimum.
singing something the other day. I'm like I almost feel like I don't have like good lung capacity anymore.
Right.
I'm like I can't like belt like I used to or anything like
Yeah.
that. Like, and I feel like it is because
I
of,
really
like,
feel like that it
smoking any
does.
of that.
I cough a lot after I do it. I do feel like there is a
Yeah.
difference between weed, cigarettes, and that. And even schools are trying to curb the habit by installing vape detectors. They are also removing bathroom doors and even drug testing students for nicotine.
Okay, that's a little too much.
Yeah. So
How
I guess
how are they just gonna drug test you?
yeah,
Here,
pee
pee
in a
in this
cup.
cup
That's
before you
it.
walk into
Here's-
school.
Maybe
here's
they
something fucked up. In
Take
my-
blood. I don't know.
In my school
All
district,
kinds of ways.
for some reason, in my school district, from grade school, the junior high, and a high school, whether it was a locker room or the men's room in any of the schools, there were never doors on the stalls.
Yeah.
Is that way?
That is the way
everywhere?
with
Or is-
guys' rooms. We've always
Women
had
have
the
doors.
doors.
Yeah.
So now they're taking them off.
What? But this was in the 70s and 80s. Mark.
Yeah. None of all the high schools and schools I was in, they always had doors. But
I grew up in a redneck area though. So
yeah, I was in high school in Mexico City, and in Mexico, it was perfectly normal when you're in high school to drink, and they had school-sponsored drinking activities, but it was frowned upon to smoke. But you could
Booze?
drink, yeah.
in
You know,
Mexico.
Our neighbor in Michigan has banned all e-cigarettes now.
Yeah,
And San
I heard that.
Francisco, this was
But marijuana's legal.
in San exactly in San
Recreational.
Francisco, they banned e-cigarettes as well in June. So everyone's jumping on board, hoping it's going to help people to not smoke and get sick.
I just saw something. My friend Scott Hunley in Indianapolis got married to Carrie Cruz, who I met a couple years ago at an LA Guns show in Portage, Indiana at Quaker Steak and Lube. So Scott, he's a metalhead. Congratulations. Speaking of music, Mark, your band.
Yep.
Give us some background. I know the background, but they don't. And what you did last week and set up the song we're going to play.
Okay. Name of the band is Nadja, and I got the name from a film in the 90s that David Lynch produced called Nadja and a DJ. That was kind of a pseudo-pretentious black and white, funny as hell, just kind of vampire-esque sort of film. And the band that I'd had previously all quit like the week before or 2 weeks before. And so this guy, Paul, and I decided, hey, we still got to play this gig in Baton Rouge. So we put together the set list, recorded an album, and drove to Baton Rouge and play.
You're speaking of the band that I saw when I came down some years back?
Yeah, we started that in '97, and then every few years I basically have to get
Change
a whole
members,
new lineup. And so it started as like experimental, industrial, electronic,
Right,
and then
right.
the last time you saw it, it was a full band, drums, keyboards,
Yes.
everything, and just a full live setup, and it was like industrial rockish sort of stuff.
You've changed direction.
Yeah, and so now we're in the middle of writing a bunch of stuff, and we kind of hit a pause because the band had quit again. And so the whole band quit, and so the guitar player and I were just stuck. So we brought a guy in on drums and bass, and we were playing this Vampire Ball in New Orleans.
Nice.
And we didn't have keyboards.
I
so
know
we-
that show.
yeah, we couldn't play any of these songs that previously had done, except for a couple. So we wrote a whole new set, and we were going for this really gritty, swampy, kind of like new Louisiana edgy dark sound, and so we wrote about 10 songs, played the show, and then shelved our instruments and didn't play for like 7 years. And then so I got divorced, he got divorced. I saw on Facebook this weird pic of him. I'm like, something's going on. So I called him. He told me, yeah, I'm going through a divorce. I was like, all right, I'm going to fire up the studio, come back over. And so we jumped back in and started writing and recording again. And started off, I'd done this song on the first album long time ago, As It As in 97, where it sampled one of Martin Atkins' drum beats. And I've been working with Martin since 93. And so I was like, hey, would you play this drum part on there for me? And he was like, yeah, totally. So last weekend, he was coming through town and going to crash at my house anyway. So we just set up and just got him to go ahead and play songs, drums on like 5 or 6 songs, and tracked them all out. And so the song we're going to play was the first one that I've had a chance to mix. Is that what we're going to play right now?
Yes, I'm going to play. Set it up.
So
who played on it?
So Jeff Smith plays guitar and bass, and then he's there with me in Baton Rouge. Then Paul Jansen, who had started with me in 97, he's in Denver, played violin through it, and then I did Vox and whatnot, and then Martin played the drums on it. So we just kind of knocked this out last weekend.
And this is you're hearing it first on the MK Ultrasound podcast. What's this song called?
Devil in Disguise.
Nice.
Wow. Your voice is amazeballs.
Thank you.
Wow.
He actually flew me down a few years ago on Halloween. It was a fucking hell trip too, because my flights were delayed, and I got stuck again at the Atlanta fucking airport.
Right.
And I just missed that flight by like 90 seconds. And it was late before I got there, and Paul, your other friend Paul, picked me up with Kayla at the airport. I get to his house. It's already dark, and he's got this great production. You walk into his compound. It's a big skull over the gate. It was fucking awesome. It was a total full-blown Halloween party. And then I go into to change into my Zorro costume, and he's got a bottle in there for me, and I started, and then I made some friends. I made some really good friends. And then saw the show, and then we went out to eat late.
Oh, yeah.
What was that place?
We went to Louis Cafe over at LSU. Yeah.
Late.
Oh, yeah. It was 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah,
probably.
it was packed. The college kids, though, right?
Yeah. It was right on campus. So.
And so, how many? You did like 5 songs with Martin last week.
Yeah, we did. We did 5 songs. We've still got a few more that we didn't do, but yeah, we kind of did the chorus stuff.
How are you gonna release this? Are you gonna do physical copies? Because I'd like one.
I haven't decided yet, but my initial thought on it is want to do just some sort of simple video to go with it, but I want to just release it in some format for free, and then just my dog Sochi just recently passed, and I got her from the Capital Area Animal Wellness, which is no kill shelter, and so I was going to do just a donation bucket, to buy some food for the animal shelter, and then just put it out there and just make it free.
Nice.
So,
See?
Nice.
So it's
That's
I
awesome.
mean, yeah, I like it when people just want to get their music heard.
That's it. Doing it for the right reasons.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool. I'm gonna do a break, and then we're gonna come right back.
You're listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast. Please feel free to contact us at podcast@mkultramagazine.com.
So we mentioned it last week, and now voting has started for Cassie to be the next Maxim cover girl. Ooh. And she's been in second and third all week.
Good.
Yeah, in my group, yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
That is
Oh, yeah.
really good,
I think
Cass.
I think the final is announced the October 30th.
Yeah. So you hang in there
so
another
there's a while until
and a
then, and
half.
it's just a matter of narrowing down groups. So
You
Can
can.
you-
hopefully at least make it to the finals.
I vote free every day. You can
Yeah,
vote
I
free.
have too.
And then there's what's the other thing? You said people pay to vote for you.
Yeah, you can actually.
Buy
so the
votes.
money goes donated to Wounded Warrior, I
Mhm.
believe.
Sure, that's
so
a great one.
You
Wounded
can
Warrior
pay
Project, yep.
for votes, and that money goes to
Sure.
that. So.
I think
no
you're. I
better.
think you're Maxim material.
Yeah. The pictures
yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Can you tell us how to vote for people who?
Yeah, it's maximcovergirl.com/2019/Cassie-2.
That's it.
Number 2.
And you can
Put a
vote
link
every
up,
day.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I put it every day.
I've been
Yeah.
posting it on
Every
my
day.
pages nonstop.
And how's it feel to get to be in second and third? That's
She
just,
wants to be in
You know,
first,
I
but
feel
it's still
like
really good.
yeah.
The amount
Yeah.
I'm just the amount of people that are like commenting and sharing just means more to me.
And there's
'Cause
time.
there's like people that like are just like, hell yeah, I'll support you. I'm like, that means a lot.
We'll build some momentum and get her, like, think of ways to push her little social media up a little. And
I've
then,
been trying.
you know, they're looking at that too. And, you know,
she's
Yeah.
got a
the
lot
whole,
of followers
the whole
on Instagram, and
Yeah.
you're on Twitter, and you're on Facebook.
I suck at Twitter.
I don't like Twitter that much.
No,
I don't either. I don't do it.
I use mostly Instagram.
Do you know
I'm
Twitter
Facebook.
shows full on porn?
Yeah,
They show porn,
right.
hardcore.
I didn't know that.
And Instagram, you can't even show nudity.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, some I've had to like hide some of my friends in the industry
Really?
because I'll look at it on my phone. I'll be on the train, and then like there's some like woman taking loads, you know. Seriously.
I don't want to know what
Yeah.
kind. It's not
Uh,
loads of
speak-
laundry. I
speaking
know
of,
that.
Cassie, today is the opening of the Exotica in Miami. Imagine how much
Oh.
fun that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami.
Ooh, girl, you could go travel and
I
oh
don't
my
think I'd
gosh,
wanna be
get a new
there.
car.
Why
With
is
all
that?
the Dorian going through
You
the
know?
hurricane and all that,
Yeah,
that had to
true.
have put a damper on
No,
it.
that's
I mean,
true.
Oh,
Has
I've
it
seen
hit yet?
People
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to the Carolinas
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But
Hit Bahamas.
Bahama Mamas.
They're devastated.
yeah, I
down
heard
fucked
that
it up.
down
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
not
my
even getting
candidate for
help.
president, Tulsi Gabbard, addressed that this week, and like nobody else. Trump just said dumb shit.
Yeah.
What
And
a
even
fucking
even
idiot.
their
We should be used to that by now.
yeah,
Like, oh, Trump's gonna come on and say something stupid.
Again.
now's when he's gonna get smart.
Yeah, I love all the Sharpie memes that have been going on. You know, have you seen all of those where
No.
people are, because he was so offended by the fact when he said that it was going to hit Alabama.
Yeah.
And he drew onto the map with the Sharpie, extending the forecast. He drew it with a Sharpie and then went on the news and Twitter and all that saying.
I saw something about that.
What a
yeah, so
nut.
there's like
Was
this
it? Did it look like a dick or something?
Fucking
No,
gold
well,
comedy.
They're
right there.
drawing like pictures of
Dicks and-
like
yeah.
you know statues of him. Then they'll draw like the picture of the dick on the bottom of it with the Sharpie, and they're just running wild. With it.
Jesus Christ. When's it
That
ever
is
gonna
comedy
end?
gold, man. That was the best thing that ever happened was him getting in the presidency.
No. Well,
More fodder for the comics, man. I love it.
yeah, well, I mean, the left, the far left gets a little ridiculous about it because of how they reacted when Hillary lost, screaming and crying and just like grow up. Okay,
Just comedy.
if you want to get this guy out in 4 years, you got to get out in front of this thing like Tulsi Gabbard and talk about issues and not about, okay, all they want to do is get rid of Trump.
Right.
You need to talk about
Yeah,
what
a
you
little
wanna
more
do.
than
Yeah,
that.
you need, like,
than
more of a
just
plan
that.
than that, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I
it's,
think
'cause
it'll
they
like
don't
at
like
least
'em.
get younger kids involved in politics.
There
Like
you
I'm
go.
hoping
That's
like,
true.
hey, like
well, you know,
you hated this guy for 4 years.
Now you need to
Please,
know why.
Like, get out
Yeah.
and vote and like
Right.
research. Like do like
Right.
yeah.
in my younger days, in my 20s, when Clinton got elected, there was the MTV Rock the Vote thing, and that's what got the youth vote
That helped
big.
a lot.
Yeah,
MTV.
MTV Rock
Yeah,
the Vote.
they used to do
showed-
Not a
music.
thing
Yeah, they used
Little
to show
girl,
videos.
they used to play music and everything.
metal,
So
Not
I
anymore.
heard.
Not the VMAs, right?
120. Oh, fuck.
No rock at all.
Man, I remember that VMAs used to be fun.
What?
My brothers, it used to be fun. My brother
Yeah.
moved in with me. We watched it. We were going to
Yeah.
last up. And the Chili Peppers came on and thanked Satan.
They'd represent every musical style.
And,
yeah.
and it was live on the East Coast. And then Rob Zombie's out there with this, all the songs are motherfucker with White Zombie, motherfucker,
Yeah.
motherfucker. And then they couldn't cut it. If you were Central Time, they cut it out.
Cool.
Did you hear the Tool and Taylor Swift thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
The
did.
Tool
Yes.
song is
I'd
like
rather
beating
hear
her out
Taylor
for number
Swift.
one.
Yeah,
I don't like-
Fear Inoculum.
But they're like
never
complaining
been
about.
a
They're
Tool
like,
fan.
who are these guys?
I'm not a Tool fan.
I'm not either.
I don't either, but like it's still funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked
It was well played on their part because they haven't released any of their music digitally. So when they came out with their album, they did a really nice physical media of it with a video player on it. And then they also, at the same time, released all of their music through all of the digital medium. So they immediately shot to the top of the charts everywhere. So, I
Smart.
mean, they just like took over.
And use
so
her little
like
coattail.
Cass was saying, the Taylor Swift fans are like, who the fuck is
Tool.
Tool?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
they're like
yeah.
upset. They're like, we need to stream her more so we can get her back to number one. It's like
They haven't put out an album.
I'm
what,
about to go just
13
stream a
years?
bunch
It's
of
been a while, 'cause
Tool
they
to,
were just
like,
doing
keep them there.
Perfect
Yeah.
Circle shit.
Yeah. Long time.
I'm not a Tool fan, but
No.
I'd rather
Yeah.
Tool.
I can't even tell you
Move
one
on.
Taylor Swift song.
just because it's funny
I don't know
that
one.
they're upset.
Mark and I were talking on the back porch last night. Like, I don't know any of these Cardi B or any of these songs that people talk about. I don't know any of their music.
I don't even care to look most of it up, honestly, sometimes. A little bit of it, I will,
I just remember something that David Chappelle said because it throws it at somebody we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
When he was talking about the Jussie Smollett thing not adding up, he goes, and you say they were like they found out it was two black guys in manga hats, and the cop says to the other cop, hey, find out where Kanye West was last night. You've got to see this show. It's fucking great.
I guess Brad Pitt was at Kanye's church
thing?
Yeah.
I heard about
Yeah, so he's still doing that in his backyard or wherever
Well,
they
that's
decide
cool,
to
but
do
what's
it.
fucking Brad Pitt going there?
I know, right? I don't know. I guess he's like an Alcoholics Anonymous, and he's like clean now for a couple months.
I'm sorry,
He
but
needs
you
a
know
little
what?
Jesus.
He said he was drinking after the split with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember seeing any stories on the media, the gossip sites about him being drunk.
Yeah, I guess Maddox, the son that was with Angelina before they hooked up, he's now 18 and is, his own person. He doesn't need a parent anymore, but he won't even talk to Brad Pitt. So It's looking like maybe he probably had an alcohol problem.
It was well hidden.
That was well
He
hidden.
hung out with Clooney a lot, and the Clooney's like as straight as you can
Notorious partiers.
get. Clooney?
Both of them. Brad, they're
Oh, I
like
know
the
he was a
Brat Pack
womanizer.
of the. They are the Ocean's 11 Brat Pack of this generation
you know
in a
what?
way.
I
Good-looking
saw-
men that have a lot of money and
saw
Hollywood players. Come on, man.
who's that guy
I'd
from
be there
the
with them.
Twilight series, Cassie, who's going to play Batman? Robert Patterson
or something
like that. I saw an interview with him last night.
Yeah, from the Twilight fame, right?
His every picture of him and every interview with him, his head's cocked sideways.
Yeah.
How's he going to put the Batman cowl on? Like,
He's a thoughtful Batman.
He's always doing this with his hair. He's like, I don't want a fucking beta male sensitive Bruce fucking Wayne. I want fucking Christian Bale. I kill motherfucking Bruce
Right.
Wayne,
I
you
like
know?
Christian Bale too. Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you
That
need
was a
some
great
aggression
role.
in there,
Big
not
fucking-
sensitivity, maybe, But maybe they're gonna try it and see. Remember how Michael Douglas was like the dark,
Keaton.
or Michael Keaton? I
Yeah.
mean, and then they changed that around and got dark with it, and
Yeah.
I like that
They're
they
making
tried
another
things.
one?
Yes, because Ben Affleck fucked up.
They
Ben
just need to
Affleck.
stop remaking stuff.
I know,
I want to
stop it.
see one original idea.
Never gonna
That's why
happen.
DC
Like-
can't get it right, and they that's why they fucking consistently bomb, as opposed to Marvel.
I can't believe
they built all the
bombed.
characters.
Weren't they just bought out by Disney or the other way around? Or
Marvel and
Marvel.
Disney.
Marvel went to Disney.
And
Okay,
Disney
yeah.
is starting a channel here in a month or so called Disney Plus. That you
Okay.
can get for like $4 or $5.
streaming, right?
Maybe like
Streaming it.
adult.
And
kind
they're
of-
That's why
putting a-
anything
Adult
on
Disney?
Netflix that's Disney is
Oh,
going to be
anything.
off.
They're putting series, Marvel comic series on Avengers series. Like each characters have their own series.
Nice.
And I read today that they're going to have Ironheart, who is a black woman who becomes Iron Man.
Right. Nice.
They had to fuck with that too.
I know, but yeah.
Okay, Iron
It's a
Man will
business.
always be
It's a motherfucking
Robert Downey
business.
Jr. Speaking of business, we're going to play some business
We
right
gotta
now.
pay the bills too.
No, this has nothing to do with paying the bill. It's telling you how to get a hold of us.
You're listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast. You can follow us now on SoundCloud, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Sign up and follow, and you can win your chance to get a set of tickets to see Pigface live this fall. Win a genuine voodoo doll from Quarter Kids in New Orleans, Louisiana, or a beard grooming kit from Killer Beards.
Man, AC/DC.
Yeah.
I remember when I came home.
Bon Scott.
I came home a couple years ago.
AC/DC.
It was like October, November of 2017. I came home from work, and Mark's here, cranking AC/DC with a big fucking cowboy hat on.
I already like him.
And then we had fun that weekend. That's when I first took you to that record store we went to last night.
Yeah, that was the weekend with the Martin doll.
Yeah. Oh man. So we got to tack quick, of course, right?
Yeah.
And then we get on the train the next day, and I've got that puppet with the little bro hat on in my backpack, and Mark's got the Martin Atkins doll, and we get on the Brown line to go up to Lincoln Square, where we're going tomorrow. Cassie, me, and Mark for the German American Fest, and Mark's gonna watch the Alabama game. And then there's this, drop dead Asian girl, and I'm like, will you pose with this, Martin? Mark's always like, don't. She's not gonna do it. She's gonna get mad. She posed with it.
She did.
And of course, I didn't get her fucking number.
Ah, you wussed out.
I always wuss out. Unless I go to Tack Quick and they give me those $20 fucking. What does they give me? Those
Long Island iced tea that's just pure liquor.
We were just talking about that earlier.
you two were?
Yeah, it's like, how the hell do you? It's like lighter fluid. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The last time.
blame
They
you
put
that.
151 in
time-
it.
That's everything.
That
It's
has
just
every. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's
Every
Long
10
Island without
Yeah.
only alcohol.
So I had
Gross.
that weekend when Mark and Cassie first met, and Cassie got snowed in. I went over there, and then I saw, and we bought all that food. I bought all that food and those drinks, and then I looked on my fucking bank account the next day. Jesus Christ, that was a hell of a fucking tab.
Oh yeah. Well, you were just like, fix whatever for
Yeah.
us to eat, and then
Make us-
$20 drink, $20
Right,
drink. It's just like,
I was like,
That's
because
easy.
I had to sleep on the floor, so Cassie slept in my bed, and Mark was on the futon because mouth breathers still had the room back then. And
Mouth breather. The ex roomie.
that fucking
Mouth.
Captain Hygiene.
oh god. Ugh. Okay,
He's not listening anyway.
So at the beginning of summer, or our summer, which was the 4th of July weekend, you met Don and Brad Waddles,
Right.
and their daughter has been doing some writing for MK,
Yeah.
and she sent me this letter because her and her friends were in Chicago a couple weeks ago. And you go ahead and
Yeah,
this
it's
is from
called-
Miranda Waddles, 19 years old.
Is our goal for safety actually putting more people in danger? All right, she writes, as my last summer before college was coming to an end, a few friends and I decided to take a short road trip to Chicago. The four of us packed up and drove up to Chicago for a weekend. And personally, this was the first trip I had taken without an adult present, even though all of us were legal adults, all just barely 19 years old. We were spending our nights at home, at the home of a family member of one of the girls on the trio with me, but during the day we were on our own. We decided to dedicate one of our days there entirely to adventuring around downtown Chicago, seeing all the big tourist attractions people typically visit. One of the areas we visited was Millennium Park. There were no events going on at the time. We just planned to walk around the lawns and take pictures, but as we tried to go on in, we were stopped at a security point and searched. I read the sign, and it said there were no firearms or knives or anything of the like permitted in the park, and of course, these are classified as actual weapons, but I wasn't entirely sure why they would be confiscated just to enter the park. And as the security guard was searching my bag, they told me to go ahead, but then abruptly stopped me and asked, is this mace? Like I had broken a law. It caught me completely off guard. I forgot I even carried it on my keys because I have been fortunate enough not to need to use it, but as a fairly independent teenage girl, I have been carrying it for over a year now purely for protection. In her hometown, Indianapolis, she attends a college downtown in the heart of our city, so I spent a lot of time walking around alone and wanted a way to defend myself if something were to happen. Carrying my pepper spray in downtown Chicago had made all the girls I was with a little more comfortable as well because of how much higher the crime and assault rates are in Chicago. I understand that as a venue, Millennium Park may not have wanted weapons on the premise, but pepper spray? Some people consider it a weapon, but it's non-lethal and is only meant to deter an attacker. As they made me unclip it from my keys, my friend asked if I could get it back when we left, and all that we got was a blunt no, and a box labeled contraband shoved at us for me to put my pepper spray in. As a young female, I felt extremely unnerved for the remainder of the time in the city. I had no protection and wasn't allowed to protect myself. If something happened, the most I could do with pepper spray is temporarily hurt someone. Not severely injure them, not kill them, just hurt. I was sent back out into the city where women are harassed constantly and homicides happen every day. Are you to tell me they were making things safer by taking away my protection? Non-lethal weapons have no reason to be taken away from individuals, especially when they are simply trying to be safe. If something had happened to me that day, there would have been some argument somewhere that I should have done more to protect myself, or not dressed a certain way, or she should have fought back. Well, guess what? I shouldn't have to dress any type of way to be safe, and I shouldn't have my only defense taken away from me, either in a claim to protect others. Enough victims already exist. We shouldn't be putting young girls in a position to make even more.
Cassie, what do you
Thank
think?
you,
You're
Miranda.
close to age.
Yeah, I think that's absolute bullshit. Like,
Okay.
I want to protect myself.
I'm going to tell you what I asked her after I tell you this. That I went to a festival some years ago. I saw Tracy Trouble's band and Ali Jados, and it was a good festival. And I always have a knife in my backpack.
Right.
Well, I said, I have a knife here at security. And he said, turn it in, but you can
A lot of people do.
I got it back.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it back.
Sure.
So I asked her, I said, okay, were all your friends white females, and what color was the securities? She said, all black. I'm like, they were just harassing you. That's basically 4 white girls. They're harassing you.
Right.
Because they've got to sit there in the fucking heat,
Right.
and they make other people miserable.
Right.
There's no reason why they should search people going to Millennium Park.
Right.
But
they don't probably look like they would have put much of a
there's
seriousness of
actually
crime going to happen.
I worried about them being here for them
Yeah,
by themselves
I bet.
because I care a lot about Dawn and Brad and Miranda especially. Super smart girl, and I think that she's going to get an internship through IUPUI and MK Ultra, so she'll be a contributor. Yeah, she'll get college credit for that.
There you go.
So yeah,
Nice.
and she's got the talent, so it's nice to have her contributing.
Miranda
and,
Waddles, good job.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
fantastic job. What did you think of that, Mark?
It seems a little bit overboard. Maybe it's because it's Chicago or something, but I mean that seems
It's
a
mace.
little bit crazy.
They sell mace at the corner store here for women to carry.
Yeah, if they searched any woman's purse going into a park in Baton Rouge, they're going to be pulling out a knife, a pistol, some mace, a broken bottle.
I always
Something.
I carry a pocket knife on me.
Good.
Yeah,
Brass
But like
knuckles.
honestly, like that's not gonna do too much if someone like attacks me.
Right.
But carrying your keys in your hand,
You gotta
with
find
mace,
it first of all. If you have
Yeah.
a minute I gotta need to go to my purse to get the mace.
But you mace you always carry like on your keychain, and
But
you
even the
always have your
keys are in
your
there.
hand for the most part.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know what? When I like leave bars and stuff like that, I leave with my keys like one
Right.
between my
So they're
fingers.
jagged
so if I
in
need
case
to,
you
like,
need to poke an
yeah.
eye. Right.
We
Smart.
girls think about
Yeah.
this stuff.
Have
Good.
to.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad
Get
you
your key
do.
ready so you're not standing at the car too long either, or
I-
at a door
Yeah.
too long.
I do that when I come home at night.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Get that shit
as a
ready.
male.
Yeah.
I mean, this is stuff we think about
That's
in
when
the
things
day.
are gonna happen,
Like-
right? In that time.
Yeah,
Yep.
with all the traveling I do, I always check a bag because I keep a pocket knife in a hidden compartment in my toiletry bag, and then I also always carry a money clip with me that has a concealed knife inside of the money clip.
Nice.
That if somebody goes to take my money, the knife pops right
Nice.
out.
That
of
is
it.
so smart.
Yeah.
I've
so,
got a-
I mean,
I
I've
want
got a
that.
stun gun that's a mag light.
Wow.
It'll-
That's
it's-
a good
I
idea too.
forget how many million volts it has in it, but it's enough to
I had
to
someone
get
buy
you
me
away
a
from
taser.
somebody. Oh, I'd love one
They
of
want
those.
me to
need
be
one of
protected.
all
Like,
that.
take this. I'm like, it's a little big.
What do you
like,
carry,
carrying,
Ty?
but
I
still.
don't,
Nothing?
nothing. Yeah.
These.
I mean, I have
yeah.
a pistol and some.
You have a
I'm
love
a
gun.
I'm a hippie.
Hey, check this out. And I'm going to tell you something that I'm sending Mark home with to give to his roomie.
Want a killer look without breaking your wallet? Try Killer Beards. All beard products are made with natural ingredients to stop beard dandruff and itching before it starts, while giving you a smooth, silky beard that smells amazing. Choose from 5 amazing scents that will have everyone saying,
Wow, that's a killer beard, and it sure does smell good.
Also available are shampoo and bars of rough cut soap. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy at etsy.com/shop/Killer Beards. That's Killer Beards. Use the discount code MKUltra20 for 20% off. That's MKUltra20.
So Nicholas sent me another sample kit, which I'm sending home with Mark to give to Paul.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to tell us if or women sniffing his beard like they do Nick Huffman.
I'll put together maybe a little iPhone video or something.
That'd
for you.
be fun. Yeah.
To see. I had a quick question though. Why my voodoo doll looks pretty normal, but yours has like a camel toe, doesn't it?
It does, and I'm pissed off about that.
You looked.
Yeah.
He looked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
hot.
Where is your voodoo doll?
What the fuck? Are
Why
you
does your
doing?
voodoo doll have pins in it and Mark's doesn't? Alex is a lot more aggression.
I decorated your.
Oh my god! You fucking beyond. Mark had in the picture of us at that Baton Rouge House of Blues. This shirt is the same shirt as he's wearing in that.
Yes,
It shrunk.
ogre shirt, yes.
That's what happens when you put it in the dryer after you wash it.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. So, a couple of things. One is we had a barbecue last week after the show, which is a
Yeah.
funny fucking show.
That was fun.
We had some cool rock and roll people here,
Yeah.
and we got fucked up.
Matt Clark, Mimi Tova, Danny Lee Hill.
Yeah.
That was fun. We all got down and rocked out and
And
sang songs.
You were making me White Claw and vodka.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. With a little lemonade and sparkling
Well,
water
I was
as
there
well.
very happy the next day was Labor Day and I had to go to work. Jeez.
We were going from 1 p.m. till probably 11 p.m. That was a long time.
Yeah,
It was a
late.
very
And
long
you
day.
biked home in the dark?
And I did, yes. I didn't get trashed, though. I just,
You were laughing really hard.
yeah, by the end. Well, no, actually went to practice for 3 hours.
Jesus.
I have a lot of
You're a
energy.
Superwoman over
I
here.
do.
Yeah. You're Wonder Woman.
I went
do
to
have
bed.
a
I went to
lot of
bed.
energy. It's kind of, yeah,
Um,
unusual.
So that was an interesting group of people. I'm glad that Matt Clark's back because we're going to have some interesting
Yeah, I
things
told him because I wasn't here for their interview. I want him to come back with a song he sang on, and there's still plenty of other.
happen. He wants to do a show
people
with
in-
him
yeah,
because he's done a lot of work with artists. He did some stuff with he mentioned he did some stuff with the Dead Boys.
Yeah.
That has never been released.
Right.
He recorded it, and he's done a lot of stuff that he'll premiere on this show.
Yeah, that's just can't wait.
So
huge.
So
Work
this
with
month,
Cheetah Chrome,
as we know, is that that festival, and some of the artists are going to be here. Jared from ChemLab,
nice.
Who Mark and I have history with, worked with. Also, Curse Mackey and Rona Roughheart are going to do a show.
Nice.
Kind of like the industrial power couple. Mark and I have history with, and then I'm at work today, and I'm surfing pictures of this cutie, and then Ty gets a hold of me and says, "Don't forget, Sunday we have
Lucy Decay."
I'm like, "Oh yeah." And I had to check in with Cassie because Cassie's staying this weekend, and so I'm like, "Okay, can we do this show with her?" And and I was looking at her fucking pictures
right at that moment. That's that's perfect timing then. Yeah, so it's meant to be. I think she's bringing Rosemary, the drummer, too, from Mystery Actions and Supersonic Space Rebels. They're freaking awesome ladies that play lots of great Chicago punk / rock.
She's a little
just
Asian.
so good. Yeah, and she's Asian.
I'm fucked. You're bringing two hotties.
You're gonna be at a table with 3
extra
women.
cute.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, so if there's a...
You got to stay for this.
That'll be Alex.
Do that again. Get a close up of it, Cassie. I love it.
Oh my God.
The table will be bumping. Yeah.
It's an Alexander.
You're getting me hot. Stop it.
No, Lucy Decay's in a lot of bands.
She is. She's an awful with Tracy Trouble and Izzy Price.
She looks a lot younger than 36.
And she is also in Mystery Action. So yeah.
And they've been around for a while.
Couple few years. Yeah.
I mean, they've got some records out.
Yeah. They played Reggie's, and I think they just need a good show, a good opening slot.
We'll have to have them send me 2 songs. I'll write to Lucy, like get two songs maybe from a couple different bands.
Doing it right now.
And then we will play those on Sunday.
Yeah,
and that show will go up on YouTube a little bit later. But this one with Mark and all of us, the crew, the MK crew here, that'll be up by Wednesday, you think? Mm-hmm. And then a little bit later, since we'll be off next Sunday, then that'll be on YouTube. Right. And I wanted to mention that this morning I got a thing from YouTube. It said we're down to 282 viewers last month, but only 9 people subscribed.
Oh, yeah.
And
so if people can please subscribe.
Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
My Camel to Appreciation page, Toverload, is through the roof with subscribers and followers. And I'll post a simple thing on Facebook, and I've got tons of people. Oh, I want to
start doing that with that.
That hit likes with memes and dumb shit that I put up, because I do post a lot of dumb stuff.
Maybe we should just start throwing those out.
And I just wonder why.
MK.
All it does is take a second.
Yeah.
And you can actually win. And Mark, tell me what they win if they subscribe. If we pick you.
Well, first off, you can win a Killer Beard Kit.
Yes.
So that works with the carpet and the drapes.
I was wondering that. Nobody ever said that yet.
Yeah.
You know that?
I don't know this from personal experience, but I've been told.
Everybody shaves,
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, and then you can also win some voodoo dolls from Quarter Kids in New Orleans, Louisiana, our official voodoo doll. And then you can also win a pair of tickets to go see Pigface.
And all you got to do is subscribe,
awesome.
either on YouTube or on SoundCloud or both. If you subscribe to both, it increases your chances of winning. It's just cool shit.
Yeah.
It's just it's cool. And
I want one of these.
When this is over, this contest, we'll come up with another one.
Yeah.
Around the first of the year, it'll be something unique. And there'll always be a pair of tickets to give away. There'll always be voodoo dolls. There'll always be Killer Bear Kits. So and then we'll come up with some other surprises. But that
maybe we could do some sort of like Cajun food pack or something like that from Louisiana. Some hot sauces.
He's always good about that.
So.
Hey, speaking of Pigface.
I'm just a hired gun.
Now's your chance to catch Pigface live November 15th in Cleveland, Ohio, all the way through November 30th in Chicago, Illinois. For tickets and other information, go to martinatkins.bigcartel.com. Hurry, tickets are selling out quick.
Yeah, we've got some really good guests coming up, and it's going to take us into Rocktober. And Jason Moit was going to do the show the 15th, but he's going to come. It was his parents' 50th wedding anniversary, so congratulations. I sat next to Jason's dad at Jeff Winnish's wedding. Jeff, who's no longer with us, he passed away in September. No, it was August of 2016 on the same weekend as his birthday, on the same weekend as I lost my last Vietnamese girlfriend. Not she left me.
Didn't lose her. Right?
No,
To
but no.
Great Beyond.
Yeah, from other fucking reasons.
She switched teams.
It was. It's not you. It's not you.
No, it was my bank account.
Damn.
So,
It's all me.
hopefully she's happy. I know she's in Florida, so good for her. But I'm excited. The show is just going so good.
Yeah.
Mark, who raggled the gear and who's put this stuff together. We've got some new headsets and microphones this weekend, and hopefully people notice the difference. And we've tweaked this a little bit, and we're going to add some more. The Rodecaster Pro, we have a new download for it. What's that?
Yeah,
version?
so it's just a firmware update that's going to make it to where makes it a little bit more flexible, easy to use. We can do multiple shows without having to hook it to the computer and so on. So we're very thankful to Rode Microphones, a good buddy of mine, Peter Friedman, owner of that company, started it following his dad's legacy from the 50s. And so I was down in Australia and visited with him in Sydney in November of last year. And he had the prototype sitting in his apartment there.
Fantastic.
And checked it out, and it was just so badass. It was bulletproof and idiot-proof. And I was like, wow, this is for Alex.
That's a good combo.
I remember we were putting gear together, and we were still putting the podcast concept together, and Mark said, forget everything. I found it.
Yeah. And so I couldn't pick one up in Australia then because it wasn't ready to go. And so I was trying to get one in the U.S. and everybody was sold out. So it was in South America, in Santiago, Chile, and a buddy of mine that was the distributor down there had one. And so I grabbed it, threw it in my suitcase, and brought it back with me to the U.S. and mailed it up to Alex.
Is that the 4 bottles of wine guy?
That would be him.
You got him 4 bottles for it?
No, I heard Mark talking on the phone with this guy yesterday. It was like the fucking craziest conversation I ever heard. No, let me ask you again.
He was getting wasted.
And he repeated himself like
over and over. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't know how you're doing this. You must really like this guy.
Yeah, well,
part of it.
It's he gets a few drinks in him, and he doesn't want to speak Spanish anymore. And his English is good, but his ears stop functioning. So
what?
Wow.
Well, I'm glad that we're all here. I think we're gonna have some drinks and maybe some cigars, and I'm gonna upload this show for all you listeners. I really appreciate you every week.
Thank you so much for listening.
Don't forget, I'm on MKUltraMagazine.com. We update this damn thing every day. The Diary of a Damn Man's updated with great pictures. I don't have time to update content on the diary every day, but I do put pictures up. So we got pictures. We've been very active around here on Sundays and Fridays. And
well, it's been a good summer, really good summer.
As far as the show stuff.
And for other things for me as well. But it's been a great summer.
What's
just
up?
Band wise and
wrecking cars.
Jeez.
Yeah, Danny wrote
Bring
to
me
me
down.
and he wants to he wants to do a show with you guys in your music.
Oh
and
yeah.
So I'm totally.
It's already
down with
recorded. Yeah.
How do you like it?
I love it. Sounds great.
He's just such a fucking.
I wouldn't let it go if I didn't.
Yeah, he's such a rock star.
Yeah, he is.
So
solos are screaming fucking hot.
We all know a lot of rock stars here. Anybody going to see any shows? Mark, are you going to see Iron Maiden?
Yeah. So I go down to Lima, Peru after here, and then Paul, my roommate, said his top 10 bucket list thing, number 1 was to go see Iron Maiden. And so a year ago, I said, if you can live with me for a year and we can get along and get all of our shit together, then in 1 year I'll take you to Iron Maiden. So I went that night and bought pit tickets for Iron Maiden for the world tour. So
you are a good friend, man.
yeah,
super
so
cool.
Now we're going to go see Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
Cassie, any shows coming up?
Oh, I'm sure. I have so many written in my planner, but
I'm gonna see Social Distortion
Ooh.
Saturday.
that was one I had written down.
And I was gonna do DRI, but it's the same night.
Social D has the old drummer for Danzig, Chuck Biscuits.
Yeah, so that should be good.
Yeah, Social D's always good.
Yeah,
I don't even
always.
I think I'm gonna go see Prong.
Yeah.
Do you want to go Thursday?
That's
right?
the 19th. Thursday the 19th. So if you want to go, we can do that. I want to do a show with Tommy, but I don't know if we can squeeze it in, and I have to take this gear there. So if there's any way I can get him here, we'll do it for sure. We'll have Tommy Victor from Prong on. Otherwise, we'll just go see the show. It's always good to see Tommy.
I'll bring my camera.
And the drummer left and went to Lamb of God.
Good.
Tune in tune in Sunday for hot girls.
The hot show. Thanks for
So
listening.
subscribe
And
to the YouTube.
vote for Cassie.
And do that.
Subscribe.
From the north end of the Mississippi River in Chicago, Illinois, to the south end in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast with your host, Alexander, with our special videographer, Cassandra Belazik, and I'm your executive producer, Too Dark. Tune in for the next episode to see exactly what's going to happen next. You've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast.